That's cool.
That
What's the name of that?
it's almost
That
like.
pod.
Oh yeah, go
Oh,
for it. Sorry, I was
no,
gonna.
you go. You go ahead.
I
You always let me go.
Well, I was gonna say we were just doing kind of a roundabout version of the the game.
You guys are live.
The
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we were. I think probably my favorite episode of Beavis and Butthead is the one where they're trying to get workman's constipation. and, like they you see that one where Butthead's like beating Beavis with the frying pan trying to get him hurt at work. and, and their boss comes in and says you can't hurt each other at work, it has to be an accident.
Oh.
And Beavis is walking through that like their walk-in freezer, and he's has like a big handful of like boxes, and he's like, oh, here I am working, and he walks through the door and Butthead slams the door on him. He gets hurt.
I don't remember. I kind of vaguely do remember that one, but not really. I'll have to try to find it.
Here I am working.
Dude, hold on. I'm going to drink this right now because it's still cold. So if I wait, it's going to be warm. So hang on.
Maybe warm.
Okay. Get that out of the way. I've had a weird past couple days.
Tell me about it, stud.
All right. So yesterday, I woke up at like 8 o'clock on my own. The one good thing about running series races is that I have to wake up early on Saturday. And then, so then like my internal clock kind of gets reset to where I wake up earlier again until I oversleep super late again someday. But
yeah.
Yesterday I woke up on my own at 8 o'clock and there was that crawling event that we had talked about, and I'm like, oh well, I guess I'm up. I might as well go. And so I packed up and I went down there and participated in that. That was pretty fun. I just got done putting the video on our channel here about an hour ago, actually.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was trying to get I didn't want to do the runoff for the third place C3 thing for two reasons. A, I was starving. I hadn't eaten anything yet. And B, I was trying to beat the rain because it looked like it was going to rain in Omaha, and I really wanted to ride my bike. And so after going and checking in with you, I took off to Omaha, and right when I got to Omaha, this storm developed basically right over where I wanted to ride my mountain bike. And I was like, man, what a bummer. Plus, people were driving really stupid yesterday, like crazy.
Yeah.
So anyways, it looked like it missed where I was going to go ride. And so I put the bike in the back of my truck, took off, and sure enough, trail was fine. So I hop on my bike, or I stretch and hop on my bike and do all that stuff. And then I start going. And right when I'm to the part where I'm used to clicking down a little bit so I can, because I'm fat, nothing. It wouldn't shift gears. And then I realized that I was stuck in big gear no matter what I did. So I stopped and turned around, and then I remembered that I wasn't the last one to ride my bike. So I put my bike away like 2 weeks ago, and then it rained a whole bunch, and then we had the summer series stuff anyway, so I didn't get a chance to do anything. But then in that time period, Emerson said that he rode my bike for something, and I can't remember what it was. So then I was mad because I was like, what did you do to my bike? So that was just a broken cable, which is going to cost like $30, with labor. So it's not a huge deal. So
why don't you just change it?
Because I don't know how to do that stuff.
It's okay.
I'm like the RC car guy of bikes.
Yeah.
How I'm the guy that comes in. I've bought $1,200 worth of Arma stuff, and I've broken it for the first time. And I come in and I plop it on the counter, and I go, fix this. That's what I am with bikes, basically.
You're like, I need this fixed.
Yeah, can you fix this for me? Emerson fixes some stuff, but and he probably could have done my cable, I guess, but he was kind of mad that I yelled at him.
Yeah.
So anyways,
That's
my goal today yeah. So my goal today, so I got all the videos uploaded last night and before I went to sleep for the summer series. So all the A mains are up there, and then we did a live stream. We tried to do a live stream for the lower mains. I think I'm going to do that next time, but I'm going to try to find a better place to put the camera because I had the camera in the booth, but then I'm worried about people coming in and talking to me and having the audio on the thing.
Yeah.
You know, that's never good. And so so I put it out, but then where I put it, the view is kind of not very good. And so I'm gonna have to find a place where maybe I can just like reach up and hang it or something. Because it is
just like tie a big bag of rocks to the bottom of it and mount it on the driver's stand.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get there, buddy. We're gonna talk about that.
Yeah.
But it is my phone, so I don't want to have it somewhere too far away. Anyways, so where was I? Got the videos uploaded last night. So then I woke up to today, and my plan was to do a couple things. I had to take my bike to the bike shop, and then I wanted to get a haircut because my hair was out of control. Okay. Then I wanted to edit that crawling video I had done, and I think that was it. I think that's all I had to do. Well, so today's one of those days. I have Mondays off. Every Monday I have off usually. And today's one of those days where my wife, instead of working on Monday, also had the day off. And now that Emerson's out of school, he also now has the summer off. So all three of us were home all day today. And for those listeners that are married, sometimes you literally just need a day off, like without any interruption, like without family. You know, I love my family to death, but having like, I don't know, 6 hours to myself sometimes is kind of good, therapeutic. You know, I can get some stuff done. So, the bike shop was cool. They were nice. They took it in. It was even going to be cheaper than $30, I think, or something like that. So super cheap to get it fixed. I just have to wait a few days, which is fine because it's going to rain anyways. So then I go off to try to find a couple of these. Okay. And let me tell you, Casey's continues to disappoint. So the Casey's down the street has been out for a week now again. They were doing so good, and now they've been out for a week. And then, so I stopped at the Casey's that used to be Fantasies. So Casey's has bought out BP and Fantasies here in Omaha, okay? So instead of being Fantasies, it's a Casey's, which is fine, whatever. I don't really care. They were also out. So 2 trips, 2 kickstarts, nothing, okay? We're trying to make the haircut place on time because we did an online check-in thing. So I go to a third gas station, and finally Hy-Vee on 152nd and Center in Omaha, Nebraska. Thank you very much for actually having these in stock like you're supposed to. So I get that. I take a drink because I felt like I was going to punch somebody if I didn't have a drink of this by noon, you know?
I
was having a caffeine rage fit. So so then we get to this haircut place, and I don't know if I should say the name of it. Let's just say that it rhymes with great clips. Okay. And
wait, what? The place you went to get your haircut? Where?
It. I was trying to make a joke, but basically it was great clips. Oh. Okay. So they have this online check-in thing. All right. And so, Gretchen online checked in for us, but she didn't put in that it was a party of multiple. So I go in there and I'm like, hey, that's Gretchen S is actually 2 people. It's me and my son. And the lady behind the counter is like, well, one of you is going to have to go to the back of the line. And it was like an hour wait. And I was like, I'm like, nope, sorry. All right, that's fine. And so I turn around and walk out and I go, man, what's the point of having an app if you can't put more than one person in it? Because my wife told me that she couldn't find the place to put more than one person in it. And I believed her. And so as I was saying that and as I was opening up the door, I get, in my opinion, is an unnecessary, sir, you need to calm down. Now,
really?
Never in the history, and we know this well, but never in the history of telling someone to calm down has that person actually calmed down. Am I right or am I wrong?
Oh, I'm definitely
right.
Sure.
Yeah.
No, you're definitely right.
So then I was like, what? I'm like, I wasn't even going crazy. Like, So then
you're like, I think you need to calm down.
Yeah. So I turn around and I go, hey, whoa, 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 whoa. Hey, time out. Cause she was going on and on about how if she does this way and blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, time out. I'm like, first off, you don't need to tell me to calm down. I'm like, I'm fine. I'm leaving. So probably shouldn't do that. And I was just like, I was just saying that if there's an app and you can't add more than one person to it, what's the point? And so, so then I start to leave, and then she says, as I'm leaving, as I open the door, I'm almost out, she goes, well, you could have just used the phone and called. And I was like, part of me was like, turn around and start something, But then the other part of me was like, who cares, right? Because here's the other thing. I've called Great Clips before, and they do not check you in over the phone. It's either by app or by person, and I know that rule, right? So
I should quit going to Great Clips.
Yeah, I probably should get
like that to get your
I should
haircut.
probably stop. But the next place we went to was totally cool, and actually did a
Why
pretty
didn't you go to where my
good
wife
job.
works? She was working today.
Oh, isn't it in like Bellevue?
No, it's in Papillion.
Yeah, same thing. Papillion's like 30 minutes from my house.
Okay.
Next time.
Erin could have cut your hair then.
Yeah, she could have, but it was. I didn't want to drive that far.
And you probably would have got a homeboy hookup.
I probably could have. You're right.
Probably would have.
Next time, I'm letting this baby grow out. I just got it trimmed up. That's all.
Yeah.
So, anyways, so then that happened, and then, but we ended up getting my haircut anyways, and then I'm trying to think of what else happened. Basically, I was like for like a couple hours today, I was this close from like going completely nuts. It was pretty funny.
Really? That's nice. I wish I could have been there.
It's leftover angst from the weekend, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then Emerson got his motorcycle fixed, and so he was revving that thing up in the garage, which is really annoying.
What was wrong with it?
He got a new carburetor, new fuel filter. I don't know, but it runs pretty good. But
I saw that video.
We're trying to keep him from driving any more than say just our neighborhood because he's 14.
Yeah,
he doesn't have a license. He won't have a license for a while, so I don't know how that's gonna go. So I don't know. It's just weird. I'm just And then on my way over here, so we went to Hooters after the race Saturday night and got some.
We did.
Got some dinner, and I was trying to explain to you that there was a song that Waylon Jennings sings that the Beatles wrote. I could have swore it was the Beatles because I remember reading the thing and going, "Oh, Waylon didn't actually write this song, or most of his songs, actually. I think." Anyways,
yeah, kind of like Elton John didn't write most of his songs.
Yeah, well, it was Bob Dylan. Not the Beatles. So
yeah,
I just want to tell you that I was right and wrong, mostly wrong. But the other songs that we were talking about, Joe Cocker, his two most popular songs were definitely written by the Beatles. I know that.
Yeah.
So there you go. How was your day?
It was all right. Yeah, same old stuff. Working my life away. I'd like to get my 8 scale built.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Mother Nature for saving me probably $200 yesterday.
Why?
Well, because Kansas City got rained out, and I started thinking about it, and I'm like, well, it would have been $100 in gas. They had a bunch of tires in stock down there that I want, so I probably would have bought them at full retail or whatever they had them for, and then entry fees and food and all that stuff. So it would have been an expensive trip just to go down there for a club race.
Yeah. What tires would you run down there for e-buggy?
I would say green reflexes, blockers, stalkers, something like that.
No blue compound?
I think if you're going to get a harder compound, get one of the R2s or an Aqua.
Oh. the blue's not a popular compound anymore?
Mm-mm.
Really?
Yeah, they're going to R2 or red if you can find it, or the aqua compounds are really good for outside.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
So,
okay, interesting.
Yeah, I usually my thought was we'll have the super softs on hand for say qualifying, and then we'll switch to a harder compound for the long main or mains, depending on where we're at.
Well, usually the harder compound has a little more grip, because the harder pin pushes into the track more.
Yeah. I don't know. At Thunder Road, greens were definitely better than
were they?
Than an R2. Yeah.
Huh.
R2s we were sliding everywhere. Put greens on. We were both pretty hooked up.
Oh, really? Okay.
Well, okay. Where are we at? 15 minutes.
This show is brought to you by Pivot Lending.
We only have 7 watchers right now, which is weird.
Yeah, it is weird.
That is really weird.
We need to pump those numbers up.
Yeah. This is Alex Sturgeon with the Hobbytown Hobbyplex, and with me as always,
Will Brinton.
And we're here to talk about this week. We're probably going to just talk about the Summer Series, Team Associated Reedy Summer Series that took place this weekend at the Hobbytown Hobbyplex Round 1. A start basically of a new summer of 10 scale for us.
Mm-hmm.
As always, this show is brought to you by Pivot Lending Group. You can find pivotlending.com and mention our show, and you get 0.125 off your interest rate or $500 lender credit, whichever one you get to choose.
I'd probably go with the 0.125, honestly.
Yeah, I would hope so.
Yeah. Seems like the better deal in the long term.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, what do I know?
Yeah.
I'm in toy cars and machining. I'm not a finance guy.
I'm pretty sure we took the lender credit because it took care of our 2 things that were going to cost us out of pocket.
Really?
Yeah, like the home inspection and something else, I think, or something like that. I can't remember.
Huh. You don't say.
Yeah. Yeah, what else was there going on this weekend? I guess the Nats warm up.
I watched my camper.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I watched my camper.
Yeah.
With my shirt off, and I got sunburned.
I know. I saw that.
That was sunburn?
No, you had your shirt off. I come around the corner yesterday when I visited you, and you were shirtless, and I was like, huh. Will shirtless.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, if you're washing, I guess I don't blame you. You know that part in... You watched Cobra Kai, didn't you? This season where they had the car wash and the guys wanted the cheerleaders to wash their car, and they ended up getting the 2 or 3 dudes.
Yeah. Sweet.
Yeah.
That was me.
That was you.
Yeah.
They had the...
look at all these stuff. Look at all that stuff in that bag.
Oh, was that your 8 scale?
Yeah.
Nice.
I was like, what the heck? I'll get it out.
Yeah.
Start looking at it, fingering it.
Did they send it to you not in a box?
No, it's in a box.
Oh, okay.
In a box right now.
Oh. Is it TLR that
Associated used to do that. You'd get your kit in just a big bag.
Okay.
No box.
Oh.
But now we get kit boxes.
That's good because Associated kit boxes especially work really well for storing stuff.
Oh yeah.
I got a bunch of them.
Ooh, I got a new container of thread lock. That'll be nice.
Nice. I know we were busy at the summer series, but
they should put prizes in the kit boxes, like cereal,
like some candy. Did you look at anything for the Nats warm up?
Just that Tebow was there. I didn't look at any of the results or anything. It comes with a new wing.
Yeah, those guys went out there to run, obviously, and just get a feel for the track and test and everything. But aside from the actual racing and the results and everything like that, though, but it will be nice to actually have that race this year.
What?
It will be nice to actually have that race this year.
What race? Oh, the Roar Nats? Yeah. No, it's like back to normal.
Yeah.
I thought you meant like us. I was like, what?
No. Yeah, no, thank you. Just yeah, but it'll be fun to have that going again. I mean, we got ourselves Dirt Nitro Challenge, Silver State, Roar Nats, and then you include the other ones like the Alabama Shootout, Southern Shootout, Wicked Weekend.
Yeah, Wicked.
You know, gives us something to watch for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
When the going gets
That'd be
going.
cool.
But I don't know. I don't know what to think about the results. It's a lot of times these warm-up races, the results don't mean a whole lot. It seems like.
No, I don't think so. I don't think the warm-up results ever matter.
I just think it's valuable track time for those that are there, though.
Yeah. How often do they have a warm-up race and the guy that won the warm-up race won the race?
That's a good question. I don't think it's very often.
Nope.
Yeah, I don't
think it matters.
I don't think it's very often at all.
Yeah, I don't think it matters a whole lot.
Yeah.
Personally. But if you enjoy driving your RC car at new tracks and you enjoy that track a lot and you want to drive on it twice, you know.
Yeah, I think that
we're in the warm-up.
That LCRC track's pretty popular too. I mean, it's a big, big 8-scale track. And I think this will be the 3rd or 4th Roar Nats there. I mean, to be honest with you, there's only a few tracks that are willing to hold races like that anymore. Anyways.
Yeah.
You know.
Right.
So.
Wasn't that something that was talked about a long time ago? They wanted to only have the races at a certain number of tracks or something.
Yeah, when I was competition director, there was talk about possibly trying to find somewhere to have maybe like an extended contract.
Yeah.
To where, you know, you would have it at a certain place. But I don't know if I'd be with that. I feel like the Nats should move around.
It should.
I just, but I mean, in reality, on the national scale, there really is only a handful of tracks that are willing to have that scrutiny on them. Because it really is, that's really the biggest part of it for me. I mean, we could hold the Nats, any of the Nats except for the Nitro one, just because our track is not big enough. We're a big indoor track, but it's not big enough for that style of event, you know.
Oh, definitely. Yeah,
But it is basically the most scrutiny you'll ever get. So, you know, in 2016, when we held the 10-scale Nats, I mean, there's so much pressure to have the place nice and the track nice, to have internet all weekend, which we don't really have problems with internet. And of course, that weekend our internet went out for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's the hardest part about being a track and holding a Roar event, because Roar is responsible for almost everything other than the track.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so. But good.
Yeah,
more power to those.
I enjoy a good national event.
Yeah, more power to those places that do want to hold them. You know, because we need them. So.
Yeah, you gotta have it. Gotta have a nationals.
Well, let's talk Summer Series, because we're gonna get into it.
Yeah, let's get into it.
We've got quite a bit to cover.
Yeah, we do.
Let me bring my guy up here. I was gonna bring it up earlier and I totally forgot. So we had 181 entries this weekend, which is pretty much par for the course anymore, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's standard.
I feel like on the low side, you know, I think last year our final race we only had 142. But that kind of happens at the finals, because you get those guys that are like, well, I'm out of it anyways, I'm not going to go.
Yeah.
Even though you can win stuff, you know?
Mm-hmm. I have yet to ever win a kit.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
For all you guys that have won a bunch of kits and chargers and all kinds of stuff, I ain't never win nothing.
Dude, Chris Morant won 2 vehicles in a row. One last year, one this year.
Really?
From the Winter Series, yeah.
Did you keep them?
Well, he drives for a hot body, so no, he did not.
Did he redraw?
No, he paid entry fees. I mean,
Yeah.
if you pay your entry fees, I don't care what you do with it.
Right. No, I was just asking.
No, you know. No, I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care.
Now if it's
look at me over here not caring.
It's like I mean, was it Mac Vanderbeek that won one here? It was like no. He's like redraw.
Yeah.
So that makes more sense to me.
If I win a kid, I'd give it away. Probably.
There was that one year that Emerson won a 22 at the showdown, and people were like, "Are you going to redraw it?" I'm like, "Hell no! My son drew it."
Yeah.
Like I never win anything. Man, we had an E-main and 13.5 4-wheel drive. That's the biggest class of the weekend. I think it was close to 40 buggies, and that main was kind of crazy. We'll get to it here. But I mean, what was your overall impression? I kind of know what I felt. You know, I'd like to talk about it a little bit, just to kind of clear the air.
I wish I did not sauce my tires too soon, because they were greasy for like 3 minutes of the 8-minute main. And I floated back to 10th, and I drove back up to 6th. And I feel like I should have done better, but oh well.
Yeah. It's a respectable finish, though. I mean, there was 3 heats of mod.
Oh, yeah. Right. No. And there was 2 heats of heavy hitters that modified.
Yeah.
The
B main was pretty stacked. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think your qualifier that got you in the main, you were just really consistent, solid lap times.
Oh yeah, 21s and whatnot.
And I was watching your time because I know what I qualified with, and I was like, man, I could be like 3rd qualifier right now in mod. But I ended up if I would have ran regular mod and ran the same race, I would have been 6th qualifier.
Yeah,
I still would have been up there.
Right. Yeah, I rolled out 4th.
Yeah. No pressure though for me. That's the nice thing about 40 plus mod. Unless I put it on myself.
I could run 40 plus.
Yeah, you only got a couple years.
I have 8 years.
I know, that's what I meant by a couple.
Someday,
then they're gonna change.
You'll probably like change it to 50 plus.
Yeah, I'll
so
change
you don't
the
have to
age.
race me.
I was thinking, you know how OCRC called it mature.
Yeah.
What about legacy mod?
Yeah, we need to have a married mod buggy. So like if you're married.
Yeah, you said it. That's a good idea.
If you're married and you don't have time to work on your stuff, you can race married mod buggy.
Yeah. we could have multiple classes. We could have married, fat. Not that it matters in our C cars very much, but like, you know. Nah.
What?
Nah, I wouldn't do that. We just the married part's good enough. Because chances are, if you are married, you're fat anyways. So you get that weight, that relationship weight.
Yeah.
Where were we at?
Married mod buggy.
Married mod buggy. Who would be in that? Obviously, Mac, you, me.
All them kids that are at the track all week.
Yeah.
Can't race it.
Can't race it. Basically, who would it exclude? It would exclude Alex, Mason, Tom, Riley, Mason, or Mitchell.
Yeah.
Caden. Yeah, they'd all just have Nate. They just have their own. Leave us alone.
Yeah, married mod buggy. I was thinking about that while I was washing my camper. It's like
you were having shower thoughts.
Yeah.
Nice.
I was kind of taking a shower.
Kind of. I could see you with the hose just being like, oh.
Yeah.
Well, I know what I felt from this weekend, and I wanted to bring it up because it was weird to me. Like, I put a lot of pressure on myself.
Why?
To try to make these things goes smoothly. Try to reduce the amount. I don't want any conflict.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's a race, so there's gonna be, what's the word? There's gonna be like different camps, racing and all that, but not to the extent where, arguments can ensue and stuff like that. We haven't really had that for a very, very, very long time.
No.
And so I did feel kind of weird this weekend because, there was a joke that was made by one of our guys that an out of town camp kind of didn't sit well with them, right? Misinterpreted, I guess. Like they took it personally when when it was supposed to be just a joke. And I've been there. I made a joke at the Pro Tech race that I probably shouldn't have, and then I felt bad about that.
What joke was that?
It was a joke I made about Gangler in like the first race of the day because he wasn't there.
Yeah.
But in it, so I actually screwed up and started the mains a half hour early, based on the flyer.
Oh.
So the flyer said 9:30, so he was expecting the races to start at 9:30, not at 9:00.
Oh.
So then I felt bad for two reasons, because I made a joke that wasn't funny, and I started the races early.
Yeah.
But I mean, in this case on Saturday, it was I think it was something thrown out that was meant to be a joke, and the driver that was up there driving it heard it and didn't think it was funny, basically, and I think it was just the misunderstanding of style and delivery.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, and never mind. Yeah, you gotta know your audience.
Yeah,
that's all I'll say.
There you go. That's yeah, exactly. But then I also felt like this was probably one of the more intense starts to the year we've had.
Oh, you betcha.
I mean, did you feel that at all? I could feel it.
It was like one of the smaller rounds of the summer series, like compared to last year. I mean, not smaller, you know what I mean. It wasn't as big, but it was definitely like the most intense. I think.
Yeah. But I mean, if you look at Mod 2,
like everybody was taking it seriously.
Yeah,
like really seriously.
Really seriously.
Oh, yeah.
Not everybody, but I mean enough that I feel like next round, June 11th or 12th, whenever our next one is, I'm just gonna have a drivers meeting and just kind of try to get everybody to listen and be like, hey man, let's kind of not redo, but just like put ourselves in a better spot to start this race and try to stay there, I guess. I mean, even I got pissed. I mean, Nick Pavel had a bag of rocks holding up his tripod, and with 1 minute left to go in my main, with Mac right behind me, and I'm, you know how you get in the zone. It's a cliche. Yeah. It's cliche, but it's true. I was super focused on just keeping the lead and not leaving an opening for Mac, I remember thinking, all right, he's going to have to try to pass me because I'm not going to screw up. And then I hear this loud bang literally right next to me, and it breaks my concentration, and I literally wreck right afterwards.
Well, and it's a little different for you because you're there managing the event, right? So when something like that happens, it's like, all right, what is going on in the building?
Right.
Did somebody just kick a door in?
Yeah. It really bothered me. And I lost concentration. I wrecked, and then I looked over, and I'm like, what was going on? And then I got back to my car, and I basically at that point was just like telling myself, just finish the race, and then you'll figure it out. And then to find out that that's all it was. But I mean, it was a definite. It was so
Bang,
unexpected that it was startling. And you're right. I didn't know exactly what it was at first.
Well, when I heard it, because I heard it from the booth, because I was running the race.
Yeah.
And I thought that somebody ran into one of those pillars with their car, and I was like looking for like a destroyed car.
Yeah.
And I couldn't find one. I was like, oh, that was weird. Somebody drove away from that.
Yeah. And I'm not trying to make an excuse to say that that's why. I'm not making an excuse as to why I lost because of that. I'm just saying that it was definitely a factor. You can't expect somebody to remain concentrated on what they're doing. And it's different for every person. I mean, obviously it didn't affect Mac at all. Granted, though, he
said he heard it, but he was on the other side of the driver's stand.
He was down there more. I mean, this was probably, 6 feet away from me.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it was loud. If you watch the video I posted, you can hear it because Caden was taking the video for me, and he was on that end of the driver's stand. You can clearly hear it, and then see me just crash right afterwards.
It's like, have you ever seen that Curious Case of Benjamin Button movie, where like his like wife or his girlfriend or whatever gets hit by a car, and they go over all of the things that had to happen for her to get hit by a car at that exact moment in that exact way. Like her shoelace breaks and whatever, like one of these things didn't happen. So it's like, after you that happened, like I started thinking about it, and it's like, man, everything that had to happen for that person to use a bag of rocks to hold their camera up somehow. Like, how is a bag of rocks holding the camera up, one? And two, why was that an option? It's like, it's like 3 days before, like, oh man, Amazon didn't ship my camera mount. And there's like, like go to the Amazon fulfillment center and some guy like tripped and dropped it and it didn't make it on the truck. And and like all these things led up to a bag of rocks somehow holding a camera up. Somehow, like, I don't know how that worked. Like, did he have like a pulley from the ceiling? And like it was like one of those sandbags that hold the lights up in a stage production.
Yeah.
And it went boom. Like the bag came down.
I don't know. But back to my original point, though. I mean, even I got kind of hot. I mean, I gave Nick kind of a bad look, honestly.
No, it's fine. Oh yeah, we'll use his name. It was Nick Pavel.
Yeah, I didn't throw my stuff around or anything like that, and I just went back. I went back in the booth and just went back to announcing and everything. And I mean, in the long term, I TQ'd, so I still get the same points that Mac did to start the year off. So, it's not gonna hurt that bad, on the long run. But still, I mean, I just don't want us to go backwards, I guess.
Yeah, backwards is not good.
I feel like one of the reasons why we've had such successful turnouts and races the last, now going on 4 years or so, is because we've had an atmosphere that is primarily focused on fun and laughs and, the rivalry. That's what I was trying to say. The rivalries are good, not bad. Like, they're not like, I hate that guy. It's more like, that guy's my buddy. I can't wait to beat him,
Yeah, like us.
Yeah. Or like, I mean, not everything. I mean, don't get me wrong. The weekend was mostly positive, but like Jeremy Fellows and Jackson Anderson.
Yeah.
I mean, it was fun seeing them banter back and forth, and I mean, they had a good race, and they were chill afterwards and happy, and that's the way that I'd like to see it. So. Yeah,
let's keep it that way. All right, if you know what's good for you.
Yeah. Well, and then I've always said, as a race director, we've had to make the decision in one way or another in the past to basically either push somebody out or just tell them not to come back.
Really?
Yeah. There's been one or two.
Oh, yeah.
There's been one or two where I'm just like, we can't have that attitude here. I'd rather have you not come.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's more healthy for everybody. So I'm not saying that that's the
No,
case here.
It only takes like, yeah. Yeah, it only takes like one or two. Just okay. So look at like the Plex Spec people, which I would argue is the most important class of the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys, they see a near fist fight break out and they're new, and or people yelling at each other or whatever, and they see that and they're like, oh, this isn't the environment I want my kid to be in, or this isn't a good time. Like, why am I wasting my time here with a bunch of angry, spoiled babies that are crying about everything? You know?
Yeah.
Why would you want to do that?
Right. And we've been very blessed to not have something like that, you know? And I've always attributed our good turnouts the last couple of years to the fact that even me personally, I've tried to have a much better attitude about stuff than in the past.
Mm-hmm.
You know, dropping all my sponsorships was part of it.
Yeah.
You know, and I thought about it too when I decided to take on new ones. You know, I was like, well, I'm not going to let this ruin the attitude that I've tried to portray. You know, or not portray like it's fake, but like the attitude that I've tried to have, I'm not going to let this ruin that, you know?
Yeah.
So, and there were good sportsmanship moments. I mean, there was a lot of givebacks that I saw and there was some that I missed that I didn't see, you know, that, you know, I mean, it's RC car racing.
Yeah. I know. One of those things.
Yeah.
You owe them one.
Exactly. You think about it. You stew about it for years, too. Like years.
Yeah.
Years.
It might be 5 years from now. I'm going to take out the one or give you back the one that I owe you.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly. Well, with that being said, Plex Spec A Main was pretty good. I was kind of disappointed. We only had 8 Plex Speckers.
Yeah, that is a little disappointing.
I thought we were going to have 2 heats, but maybe next time. Because again, the May race is always weird because there's always something going on. It seems like on any one of these weekends. Right. But I mean, it was still pretty good. You know, Dalton Conrad drove really well. He drove his Rustler first, and then he decided to switch to his 4-wheeler. And I think his TQ was actually with his Rustler.
Really?
Yeah. So, Lexi Bolin was second. She qualified second, finished second. And then Josh Benson, who qualified 5th, ended up finishing 3rd. So he got a really good finish, got the podium picture. And we got 19 watchers now. John Haas just said that he didn't get a notice, so I wonder if there's like some sort of YouTube algorithm thing or something that didn't ping people.
Yeah.
Because actually,
Weird.
now that I think about it, I don't think I got a notice either on my other account. Yeah, I didn't. See? Notifications, it's not there.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Yeah, that's weird. Anyways, Grayson Stevie qualified 3rd, finished 4th, so he's right there in the hunt. Dylan Haas qualified 4th, finished 5th. Now, here's the cool thing. Dalton kicked everybody's butt. He got 12 laps. Lexi got 11 laps. But Josh, Grayson, and Dylan all had 10 laps in 5 minutes. And that's pretty good. I mean, honestly, for Plex Spec, anything 10 laps or higher is pretty darn good. So.
Oh, yeah.
Isabella, with her Super Bandit, she got 9 laps with that thing. And she had a new body on it, so that's pretty cool. And then Alex Eichler got 8 at 5 flat, so that's a good time. And even Sydney Johnson, she got that B3. 7 laps, 5:29. And everybody finished the main. That's
good.
That's a very important thing, too.
Hey, you got to finish.
All 8 of them finished, so that's great. So Dalton gets 101 points to start off the year in Plex Spec.
Nice.
Then the next race, you know how we like to do it. We I had to move a couple races around just because we had so many guys running back to back. But we ran Stadium Truck. I think there was 2 heats of Stadium Truck. This one was a barn burner. I'm pretty sure your TQ broke.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, no, his battery died. That's right.
Oh.
That's right. So Dayton Motor had this one in the bag, and his battery died at like the 6-minute mark.
Yeah.
So just terrible luck, really. I mean, and you know, sometimes you don't know that you've got maybe it was a bad battery or maybe just a mischarge, but sometimes if it's a bad battery and we run these long mains, a lot of times you don't know you have a bad battery until the main, until an 8-minute main.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, or like your one cell didn't balance enough, or
yeah,
there's a lot of contributing factors to that.
Yep. But Philip Hoke qualified 4th and finished 1st. He was hanging around back there with his silver Losi truck, and snuck it in there. Once Dayton had a problem. Tyler Fleming was up there battling the whole time for 2nd place. Ended up when Dayton went out, ended up 2nd. Brian Burnt, same thing. He was up there battling the whole time. Finished 1 second behind Tyler in 3rd. And then TJ Williams had a good finish. Qualified 5th, finished 4th. Then it was Justin Stevie, John Bairding, Phil Palmer, Brady Popenow, Nick Sneathen, and then Dayton down there with that 10. So the good news is for Dayton, well, there really is no good news. But instead of getting a 90 or whatever it is, he gets a 91. He picks, because he got the TQ, so he gets another point back. But that's about the end of the good news for that. But, the other good news is you get 1 drop, so,
Yeah.
Chances are...
That's how I'm looking at this round for me, is a drop.
Yeah. Chances are some of the other trucks will probably not finish at some point this year too, right? So...
Mm-hmm.
4-wheel drive mod. This one was kind of surprise, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, Alex was the benefactor of an early bobble by Tom, and then Tom had his hands full the rest of the way, and so Alex was basically able to just kind of get on cruise control at like the 4-minute mark.
Mm-hmm.
So Vanderbeek gets the win. And then we got to talk about this because this was crazy. This is the best video of the weekend. Nate Sutherland, who he's moved up from stock. Last year I think he won at least one of the stock classes. Might have won both, actually. But he was up there battling with Tom Rindernack the whole way. I mean, he was leading Tom for most of it and just giving Tom the business. I mean, he was just on the gas, putting fast laps down, just like he was matching Alex and Tom for fast lap. And they swapped back and forth a few times there for second. Nate had the lead on the last lap. Tom kind of rattled his cage because he jumped. He didn't jump the pipe, but he jumped close to the edge. He turned the Atchu double basically into a triple and landed on the start of the downside. And somehow, if you watch the video, it's crazy. His car landed right where it should to go down that hill. I mean, it's nuts. But he was beside Nate. He didn't pass him there. He was beside him. Then they made the turn over the triple, and Tom literally jumped over the top of Nate. And I don't think he touched him. If you watch the video, I don't even think his car touched Nate's at all.
It didn't.
Landed in front of him, and then Nate whiskey throttled it up to try to jump up to the top at the corner and bounced off the pipe, and Tom turned and finished the race in second place.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was crazy. And the crazy thing is like the whole place was cheering and oohing and on and everything like that. And I know Nate Sutherland looked like he was devastated, but honestly, he shouldn't be. at all. I mean, a finish like that, like if that was Mac and I, or, you know, Leatherman or I, or somebody like, or Kyle finishing like that, and I was nowadays at my age, I guess, and I was the loser in that scenario, I would have thought that was freaking cool.
Yeah.
I mean, last week at the start of the main, Mac jumped over my car. And I was laughing. I was up on the stand going, dude, and then his car wrecked, and I was like, oh, dang it, because I thought that was the coolest thing ever. You know? And I thought this was cool too. And props to Tom for not, like, if he would have passed Nate Sutherland on the corner that I wouldn't say he cut the track in any way, but he came really close, right? But if he he
even like hesitated after that happened.
If he would have passed him there.
Waited.
If he would have passed him there, that would have been a big no-no. But he didn't pass him there. He passed him over the triple.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so, yeah. That was impressive. I mean, that was a really good time. So I don't think Nate should feel bad about that at all. I mean, he qualified 5th. Sorry, I get the hiccups. He qualified 5th, finished 3rd. I think he showed he's got the speed, so he's going to be in contention this year for sure. There's definitely nothing to be, you know, butthurt about in any way.
Yeah, I wouldn't be upset with that.
Yeah. And then behind him, you had Ethan Delaire from the bump spot moving up to 4th. Ethan just struggle bust all day in 4-wheel drive.
Mm-hmm.
And salvaged a 4th place out of it. And then Vanderbeek, who had a really good start. So if you watch the video, I think he was in 3rd on the first lap. 3rd or 4th. And he ended up finishing 5th. So he qualified. He barely made the A, qualified 5th. Mm-hmm. Aiden Olson was the one that I was kind of just as a, you know, as a fan, I guess. You know, he dropped from 2nd to 6th. So that's kind of a bummer. That was kind of a bummer because he had the speed too. I mean, he qualified really well and you know, had those hot laps in there. And then Drew Rubin King, same thing. I mean, we'll talk about him later because he had a really good run in 2-wheel. Finished in 7th. Bradley Peterson, who also is moving up to mod. He's not racing stock at all. Finished 8th. Mitchell Pavel, he qualified 4th. I think his race ended at 6 minutes, so something happened. I can't remember what it was. And then Derek Wood, who's nursing a broken collarbone, finished 10th. And he kind of pulled over and waited a few times to let these guys go, so I can kind of see that. I actually think, where's that purple at? I think Derek actually had a pretty good start. Maybe that was Owen. No, purple. It's Owen. So anyways, so 4-wheel drive, I mean, you know, I got the video up. I think Rod Case also got the video up. I just, it was a heck of a finish. And
oh, yeah, you bet.
Then we get into 40 plus mod, and Mac Vanderbeek taking the win. He got there late on Saturday. Didn't really have time to break in a new set of tires that good, so he's basically using qualifying to break in tires. So his first round we'll just not talk about. Second round got him up to second qualifier, and then honestly, the first corner he bounced off the pipe, and I remember thinking, oh, okay. But then it's an 8-minute race. That's the thing about 8-minute races is if you make a mistake early, you've got the time to recover. And gosh darn it, my car was really good, like really good. And I felt like I was driving really well, and I was driving good. Mac did reel me in. I think my tires could have maybe been a little bit not as blown out, and I could have gone a little faster. But like we talked about earlier, then a minute left to go in the race, and that loud bang happened on the driver's stand and just kind of mind screwed me again. I keep finding new and weird ways to lose 40 plus mains.
Yeah, you do.
So, but the good news for me, like I said, is I got a TQ. So I finished second. I still get 100 points. Matt gets 100 points. We basically were a wash for the weekend. So Next round we'll probably have Kyle there. You know,
Yeah.
Brian Burnt. Maybe we'll get Sturgill to come from Colorado. Maybe we'll have Ken and Tony Peters, Leatherman up here. I know Jan Jakovic was talking about coming up here, so the 40-plus class could be crazy.
Straight fire.
Brian Burnt got himself a podium, finished third. David Peevler finished fourth. Ashton McCormick was fifth. Rod Case was sixth. Grady Ashton was seventh. Kurt Benson was ninth. And Josh McMullen was 10th. 10th. No, 9th. Phil Palmer was 10th. Sorry. I was looking at the car numbers, not the finishing order. So, yep. I just got to keep on top of my car. And again, the tire game kills me. I got to be able to keep up better.
Tires.
Then we had independent. So normally we run independent last, but because some of the guys are running mod in stock now, I shuffled it around. So we ran independent earlier. Tyler Fleming got the TQ and win. I don't think he ever looked back. I think he led this from start to finish. Let me look. Oh yeah, he led wire to wire. Then Justin Stevie went from 6th to 2nd. So very good finish for Justin. Brady Papineau from 5th to 3rd. Joe Schnoes finished 4th. Matt Mosier was 5th. Bender, how about Bender making the main? Straight up too. He didn't need to bump. He qualified 8th. So Daniel, made the decision. Nah, I'm not going to do Plex Spec this year. We're gonna move up. So great job. Nick Sneathan, who hasn't raced in a while, at least a month or so, finished 7th. Phil Palmer was 8th. TJ Williams was kind of the one that I was surprised by this. He qualified 4th, ended up finishing 9th. I feel like sometimes TJ just needs to calm down a little bit.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh yeah, that's definitely true.
And then Jake Poteet was 10th. So, kind of the group I thought would be in the main, to be honest with you.
Yeah, Jake didn't get to run the first qualifier either.
Yeah, that's right. He was gone, so did what he needed to do there. Okay, and then mod 2-wheel drive. So this one was kind of the usual suspects. If you take Mason Fuller out of the equation, Drew Rubin King's the one that fills that spot to where you have the three usual suspects in some sort of order on the podium. Am I right about that right now?
Sure.
So, Tom Rennerneck led wire to wire. Alex Vanderbeek was 2nd, wire to wire. And Drew Rubin King was 3rd, wire to wire. The big mover was Riley Filbert from the bump spot up to 4th. Nate Sutherland qualified 5th, and he was ripping off some hot laps. And I think he and Riley were going back and forth quite a bit for that spot. Finished 5th. Then there was you in 6th. And again, I think you were dead last on the first lap, weren't you?
Yep, sure did.
So came back to get a few spots. And then Delaire was 7th. Aiden Olson was 8th. Owen Vanderbeek was 9th. And Derek Wood, the other bumper, was 10th. So, and you said you sauced too much or sauced too early?
I think I did. My tires didn't have hardly any grip. They were like slimy for the first 3 minutes of that race. But I think that I gooped them too early. I was because my tires went away at the end of the second qualifier, and I was like, okay, well, they probably just didn't have enough goop in them. Track's probably sucking the sauce out of them. So I thought, well, I'll just do 2 coats and let it sit. It'll either be really good or really bad. And
yeah.
Fortunately, it was really bad.
Yeah, I've been trying to sauce in the qualifiers 3 races before mine. And then in the main, I did 2 races.
Mm-hmm.
I figured 15 minutes was long enough. And I haven't even been saucing my fronts.
Yeah.
And my tires at the end of my main, they were way spongy, soft.
Yeah, mine were too. They just had too much in them, I think.
So I mean, lesson learned. I broke in 2 sets of tires. I don't know why I didn't put the other set on, because they would have been just as good, and they would have probably been a little less spongy, a little easier to work on.
Yeah,
or easier to drive, I guess I should say.
Oh, I think so.
Then we had 13.5. This was the one. This was probably the ugliest race we've had in a long, long, long time. And
was it?
You watch the video. So, Tyler Patnaud, one of the guys that came from Illinois, TQ'd. He and Easton McCormick very early on were bumping wheels, which is fine. That's RC car racing. They didn't take each other out. They just bumped wheels a few times, and then Tyler looked like he was going to drive away from everybody, but then he over jumped the Atcha double, and flipped over, needed a marshal, and lost 5 spots. And from that point on, this race took a whole new direction. And I'm not gonna point fingers or blame anybody for anything, but there is something to be said about patience. And I know that this comes from an old school way of racing, okay? Because I know that some of our younger guys and that are coming up sometimes don't think that they have to be patient at all, not one bit, even if they're behind on the clock.
Oh yeah, no, that was definitely true in my second qualifier.
As an old school racer that was pounded into my head by Dennis Johnson all the time to be a little bit more patient, let the race almost kind of come to you in a way. There's something to be said for that, and I didn't see a whole lot of it in this race from about third on back. And for a little while there, I mean, I couldn't believe anybody actually led a lap. there was one lap where there was multiple changes, Yeah. So yeah, there was a lot of crashing towards the middle of this one on, especially back there. But the 3 guys that got out ahead, they also were crashing a lot, but they were crashing ahead of everybody else. So you kind of had to hand it to them, because in the end, Jackson Anderson from the 6th qualifying spot took the win. Chance Rolk was second, and Easton McCormick was third. So Jackson from the 6th spot up to the win. Great job. There was a couple laps there where each one of these guys crashed in a row. And poor Easton, I don't know what his car was doing, but he could not do the Atcha double to save his life.
Yeah, no, it looked like his car was underpowered or something.
Yeah, if he wouldn't have crashed there the multiple times that he did, he probably could have won the race. But it just didn't work out.
That, or he's just trying to downside it perfectly or something.
Yeah, and that's been my Achilles heel with that section is when you hit it right and you downside it, man, you can go down that little hill towards the corner of the triple and be so fast. And if you overshoot it, you kind of have to, work your way back down there or whatever. So maybe that's what he's trying to do. Caden Bairding just barely beat Tyler Patnaud for 4th place. They finished 0.4 of a second apart. I think Caden really went for it on the last corner. Tyler just kind of found him after that wreck. He just kind of found himself surrounded by everybody, and just kind of could not get out of that group.
It's hard to come back from things like that.
Yeah. Ashton McCormick finished 6th. Dustin Hosick was 7th. Chad Rubenking was 8th. Brent Riley was 9th, and Jonathan Kinzer was 10th. boy, if you get on Live RC sometime and you pick this race out, look at the little map they give you, the position map.
Yeah.
It's just like all over the place. It looks like a game of Pong. Right?
Yeah.
The paddles and the little things over there. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, look at that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 lead changes in this one.
How many laps did they run?
They ran 21.
So like every other lap.
Every other lap, there's a lead change. Yeah. That is insane.
It's like NASCAR Talladega racing. Woo. Just try to time it right at the end.
You know, though, I remember last year there was a couple races because I ran my TLR buggy in 13.5 a couple times. And there was a couple 13.5 races where I was TQ, right? And I'd come around that staircase and turn and go over the option line, right?
Mm-hmm.
Come back up the hill, and I remember nobody being near me. And I'm just up there going, whoa, what just happened? And there's just carnage behind me.
Yeah.
So I don't know what it is about this class. I think it's because everybody's so close that sometimes that can happen. You get like 4 cars going over the same jump at the same time. They're all going to go whatever direction they feel like. So that's all I have to say about that. I think especially in an 8-minute main, I think sometimes you have to know when to throttle down just enough to let the mistakes not be yours, I guess.
Right.
And not to panic, I guess, too.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you start driving,
or not to try to run into the car in front of you.
Yeah, I just feel like if you start to drive a little panicky, then it just makes it worse.
Yeah.
Then we had Mini Truggy. So, my son really, really likes Mini Truggy. And now he wants me to get another one so I can race with him. And I'm like, dude, I don't know.
Another one.
Yeah. Make up your mind. Do you want a nitro truck or do you want another Mini Truggy? But I was really proud of my son. He got a TQ and win. He led wire to wire.
Nice.
Our truck works really good. So.
Oh, yeah.
And he drove it smart because he can drive kind of stupid sometimes. And I'm just like, whatever you do, don't break it.
Yeah, just don't break it.
Yeah. Matt Robinson from the bump spot, 10th to finish 2nd. Matt had one of the roughest days in racing that I've seen a person have. I think he broke every single car except his Mini Truggy.
Really?
Yeah. Philip Hoke finished 3rd. Patrick Mitrovic finished 4th. Poteet, again, who missed the first round of qualifying, finished 6th. Bryson Pavel was 8th. I'm sorry, 6th. Jake Poteet was 5th. Bryson was 6th. Ronnie Went was 7th. Chad Irwin was 8th. John Haas finished 9th. And Dylan Hartshorn was 10th. And Emerson's truck shut down on the last lap.
Really?
Yeah, and when we picked it up, his speaking shoulder was super hot and the fan wasn't working. So I'm hoping, I don't think it was a battery. I think it was the fan. I think it overheated.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get a new fan and tomorrow and see if it just to make sure that that's what it was, because he made the 8-minute main at the ProTech race easily, so shouldn't be a problem. And then finally we had Expert Stock Buggy, and this was a great race. This was mostly I didn't see anything crazy in this one as far as driving goes, so these guys really did a good job. Jeremy Fellas and Jackson Anderson went back for the lead. Jackson went from 4th to 2nd on the 3rd lap, and then hounded Jeremy pretty much the rest of the way. Got by him once, and then Jeremy got by him.
Yeah, he had the lead at one point.
And I think it was a pretty sweet pass, too. Like, both of them gave each other, and this is another thing I'm just going to hammer home. They gave each other enough room to race. So Jackson passed Jeremy, I think, on the kicker jump, coming onto the straightaway. But Jeremy is also a wise enough racer to give Jackson the room for both of them to land and then go. So,
right.
But in the end, see, it works out. Jeremy took the win by 2 seconds. Tyler Patnoud finished third, qualified third, finished third. So those guys from Illinois got a good finish. Chance Rolk had another good one here, qualified seventh and finished fourth. Cody Lundberg, who I believe is another Illinois guy, I think, qualified from the bump and finished fifth. And then you had Dustin Hosick, Dayton Mosier, Easton McCormick, Cody Ogle, who was here for work from Ohio. He got to participate in a Summer Series race. I think he was wearing a Hobbyplex shirt, so I assume he has nothing but positive feedback about everything.
I hope so.
Other than getting made fun of for having a Kyosho car. And it's not like making fun of him in a mean way. It was just like, my saying is it's a rare Kyosho sighting, which it is. We don't get many Kyoshos around these parts anymore, at least.
Yeah,
and then and then John Kinzer qualified second, finished 10th. He was off the track at 3:37. I honestly didn't see what happened. If something broke or what happened, or maybe a electronic issue or something. So that is that. Again, 181 entries. Live RC says 178, but that's because I took a couple of people out that broke to make the mains a little bit more even. So,
yeah.
Okay, well, I know that all the 22 of you guys that are online right now got yourself, I know you didn't get pinged. I didn't get pinged either, so I don't know what's going on with that, but we appreciate you guys being here. If you have a question, drop it in for us. We're going to take a pivot lending break, and then we'll finish up the show with any questions in the chat.
Whee!
How about that?
And now, a word from our sponsors.
Yeah!
This is a Pivot Lending Update with David Olson and Don Zoller. Get some.
This is David Olson with Pivot Lending Group. Today is May 10th, 2021, and I'm here to give you guys an update on Pivot Lending. Last time we were on the show, we had just opened up our new headquarters that were located at 470 in Kipling in the Littleton, Colorado. Super excited about that. But we have also opened up an office outside of Las Vegas. So we have a new retail office there. And just 2 weeks ago, opened up an office in Salt Lake City. The office manager in Salt Lake City is Taylor Bills. So we're excited. Taylor's from the area. He's got an interesting past. He played professional baseball. He was a pitcher. He also, I think it was the very first reality show on ABC, like America's Most Beautiful Person. He won it. And so he's really, really great guy. So we are on the cusp of entering into some really exciting markets in the New England area. So stay tuned and look forward to bringing the updates to you guys here probably towards the end of summer.
David Olson, NMLS 16099. Don Zoller, NMLS 277589. Pivot Lending, NMLS 109995.
We return you now to your regularly scheduled program.
That one was fast. I think it was like a minute something.
Minute 7.
Minute 7. How'd you get David Olson to not talk that long?
You can thank Margie for that.
Anyways, hey, Will, get back over here. Ladies and gentlemen, Will is going through some of his boxes. Looks like parts boxes for whatever he's working on, that he's working on while he's on camera with us. He probably thinks he has another minute or so because our pivot lending break was only like a minute or so instead of the usual 2 to 3 minutes that it can be. Oh, here he comes. Oh, he's got one of those fancy Plano boxes that are out of stock everywhere. Now he's got his headphones back on. And
Yeah,
now he's with us.
Were you talking about me?
Yeah, I was.
What were you saying?
The pivot
Good
lending break
stuff?
was like a minute. It was like a minute 5.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, I knew that. Sorry.
Hey, I want to give a shout out to Tom
Me?
Smith.
Oh, okay.
Tom Smith couldn't be at the race Saturday because he was marrying his longtime now wife, girlfriend, whatever, mother of his child, for real, for realsies. So
That's cool.
Yeah, so he's officially married now. So
Nice.
Otherwise he would have been there. Him and Ariana probably would have been there. Ariana would have been another plexer. So
I have a brand new. I have 3 brand new unbuilt diffs in one of my kit boxes, or one of my. I have like 4. Oh wow, this is a honey hole. My all my 8 scale parts. I didn't even know I had this stuff.
nice.
Isn't that the best?
It's like finding money in your pocket of some shorts you haven't worn in a while.
Yeah.
Or a coat. I usually find money in the inside pocket of one of my winter coats. Like I put it in there right before the last cold spell or whatever, and then I don't remember it, and then next year I put it on and I'm like, oh, $5.
$5.
$5. I can buy 1 small cheeseburger.
Yeah.
Actually, gas station cheeseburgers are like $5 now.
Really?
It's so annoying. I remember when they used to
Dude,
be.
this is awesome. This like made
$2.99.
my night. I have like I get all kinds of stuff. I have a whole bunch of diffs built for this thing, all ready to go.
Nice. Peter Renault wants to know, did Will get your
Peter.
pogs?
No.
I haven't.
I didn't get 'em yet.
I haven't delivered him pogs yet.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Should have brought him with you to Lincoln yesterday.
I could have.
Yeah.
But
Thanks for nothing.
I know. I wanted to be on time though. I was. I that's why I didn't even need anything. I just got in my car and left.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye. See ya. Emerson didn't want to come, so I'm like, whatever. Tyler Fleming says he just ordered some RPM arms for my old B64 to give to Owen. He'll be there for the next round for Plex Specs. So that's Fleming's kid, Owen.
Okay.
So there's another Plexer. So that would have given us 10.
Yeah.
John Haas says thanks for the diff help with my son's 22. Will?
Oh yeah, no problem. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Did you see?
Glad to do it.
Did you see that I got my rear motor 22 today?
I did. I was a little jealous. That was the first and last TLR vehicle I ever owned.
Dude.
It's the rear motor 22.
So Jason Rona posted on the team page, J Concepts Facebook team page, a picture of a rear motor 22 that was used as like a display car or like a for all the J Concepts goodies from back in the day. And he's like, anybody have any interest in this? And I was like, phone, text. He's like, all right, how much you want for that thing? So we haggled a little bit, and then got.
What was the starting price?
Do I have to say? I don't really want.
I don't know. I know what you paid for it, but I watch Pawn Stars videos when I'm on my lunch break.
Yeah.
So it's like I just imagine it being like, I know what I got here.
No. Jason, Jason is a thorough negotiator. He did not set the price at first. He was like, "What were you thinking?" And then I lowballed him because I'm also
$10.
I hate haggling. I hate it. I just give me a price. That's all I want. Just give me a price. I'll decide if I want to pay it or not. I hate haggling. But I started off low, and then he started off up here, and then we kind of met in the middle somewhere. Yeah. Either way, I got it today. It's got the J Concepts honeycomb rear motor plate. It's got the J Concepts battery thingy. It's got the aluminum TLR other side of the battery holder. It has I believe it has a J Concepts front carbon shock tower.
Oh, wow!
So it's got some JC stuff on it. It's got JC thumb screws.
Nice.
Yeah, and then I thought I had the original rear motor body for mine, but I couldn't find them. And then I started thinking about it. I might have thrown them away. I hope I didn't. But I'm gonna go home tonight.
Really?
Yeah, I'm gonna go home tonight and try to find them. The low sleek bodies before we got all this cab forward stuff. That's the body I want to put on it. So for now, it's got one of my cab forward bodies on it. But I want to find one of the older ones and put it on it instead.
Yeah, I don't remember. I think I just ran the kit. Well, I didn't have any sponsors then.
Yeah.
When I ran that car.
That thing's brand spanking new too. So
that would so like I have a rear motor I have a V5.
Yeah.
And I thought that would have been kind of neat to have one of each, but I was like, I'm just not I was never a diehard Losi guy. I always wanted to run associated cars. I ran the Losi car when I did it just to try it and whatever. But yeah, I always wanted to drive for associated, so I never really ran anything else.
Right. Yeah, I'm an admirer of both major brands. So
yeah,
I don't discriminate when it comes to the good stuff from either.
Right.
I want to find one of those Losi 22.4 rally cars one before I die.
It had one?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that existed.
Well, it was technically a triple XS rally car.
Oh, yeah, I remember that car.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say.
Yeah, I remember that. Didn't it come with the Ford Fusion body on it?
Yeah. Yep.
Or Ford Focus
yeah.
body.
Yeah, Focus.
Yeah. There was a Nitro TC3 one too. Mm-hmm. Remember that? The Nitro TC3 rally conversion kit?
Not East Park, Maple Street store.
Old East Park had one too.
Did they?
That's where I saw it.
The Hobbyplex is the Maple Street store. So the old Maple Street store used to have a rally conversion for a TC3 sitting in the case.
Mm-hmm.
Long time ago.
I always wanted that.
All right, here's an actual legit question. How do you tell the difference between lay down and layback gearboxes?
Oh wait, I had a guy ask me if I have one right here. Okay, so this is a 4-gear stand-up transmission for a B6, and you can tell by the way it is. Let's see here. I don't think I have. Oh, I have. Oh, hey. I've got a lay down transmission right here. So this is this is actually a layback. This is for my gas truck. This is a layback transmission. So you can see where the tower mounts and the top shaft is and everything. It's kind of like laid downward. And then this one, let's see. This is the side the motor plate would be on. So this one has the motor plate on it. And you can see how it's like stood up, right?
But that's the stand-up though. But the lay down and the layback are slightly different.
Yeah, it has to do with the length of the transmission and the idler gear pushing that forward in the lay down versus lay back. But
right.
But for what we're looking at here for the stand-up, like this is a stand-up transmission. You can see how the motor plate it goes like underneath the transmission there, whatever. This one, it would have it like sticking out forward in front of it and be a lot lower. So it's pretty much like the transmission in this transmission's like all pushed up to put the weight on the back of the car. And then this one's like spread out so that, or like pushed down so it's longer and it distributes the weight more towards the front of the car. That's probably the best way to describe it. But I mean, like this one, you can just tell by looking at it. It's definitely a lot taller.
Yeah.
Transmission sticking up there, and it's just to put the weight over the back of the car.
So on the layback and the lay down, though, the transmission cases are also different, but they're slightly different. And I think, if I remember correctly, there's like this little rib underneath where it mounts in the front. It's like there's an extra little rib, I think, or something like that.
So like the holes are all the same on the back part of it for the lay down versus the layback.
Yeah.
Then you have these other 2 holes right here for the waterfall to move, because that's the difference in the length of the 2 transmissions.
Yeah.
So just to show you like what the difference of the motor moving or how much different it is. Mm-hmm. It's not a ton, but it's enough to make a difference. Like, I know my car drives better with a laydown in it.
Yeah.
For what we're doing.
Let's see. Try to get through these. John Haas said he made a sweet pass on Went over the triple to take 6 and followed up with his biggest bonehead move of the day.
You too, huh?
Do you use the same motor plate for the laydown as the layback? And yeah, you do.
Laydown and layback use the same motor plate.
The stand-up is one that's different.
Stand-up is a different motor plate.
Yeah.
The stand-up transmission is actually discontinued, I believe.
Yeah, I think you're right.
That thing's solid gold.
We have some at the Plex.
Really?
Yeah. Current layout, John Haas says he's running 24s and 5s, dipping into 23s for lap times, similar times with both vehicles. What do you think he should focus on for his weekly practice? Maybe 1 to 3 things.
Consistency.
And then the most important. Yeah, consistency. I know where I lose time, and that's because I cannot take that corner tight for the triple at all and still do the triple.
Like, I get conflicted on like what like it's a little different. Like if I'm not getting the laps out of my car, like it's probably like I need to change something or tires or there's something I need to figure out. But if you haven't been doing this for very long, meaning like I don't know 2-3 years, I mean to me that's not very long.
Yeah.
You should be focusing on getting clean, consistent laps, and then the lap times will just kind of start melting off.
Yeah.
In my opinion, because if you just focus on, I need to run this lap. Like I'll tell people all the time, hot lap doesn't matter. Like it does, and it's cool that you had it, but it doesn't matter. Like you could cut one fast lap, who cares?
Yeah.
But like. The last club race that I won against like Tom and Alex, I ran 99.8 or something like that % consistency, and I did not have fast lap, but all of my laps were like 21s. And I think, Tom or Alex got me on fast lap by like half a second or something like that, 4/10 maybe.
Yeah.
But I mean, which is a lot. That's like 4 car lengths in one lap. But, like if you're driving, and trying to get better, it's the consistency that you need to work on and trying to hit the same marks every time and run tight lines.
Yeah. Not
blow corners and try to downside everything. That's where you're going to see the most strides in an overall run. And you're going to become a better driver.
Nick Nuthouse just gave us a $10 super chat. I'm going to come back to that real quick. But this one I can answer pretty easily. Just snagged a mini truggy. What motor ESC pinion should I purchase from the Plex? Also, any obvious upgrades to do right away. So in the mini truggy, you need the aluminum Ackerman because they break. No matter what you do. So get rid of that. Get rid of the plastic one. Make sure that you have the actual Techno metal servo horn, and then the Ackerman for that. And that's about it. You don't, in my opinion, you don't need any of the carbon fiber shock towers or center diff plates or anything like that. I've been focusing more on setup and on diff setup for my truck, but other than the Ackerman, you need to get that. The bell crank metal. It's $17.99. We have a ton of them at the Plex. So, and then for a motor, I would suggest a 6.5 with the stock 32 pitch spur gear and a start with a 15 tooth 32 pitch pinion gear. So I'm running a 5.5 geared stock spur 14 on mine, and if I put a 15 on, it gets a little hot. So if you're going to run a 6.5, then you put the next pinion gear up. And then the setup changes to that truck that I have on mine are really simple. 30 weight shock oil, stock pistons, green regular front springs, green progressive rear springs, 1 degree of anti-squat, 3 degree of toe. Move your arms. Is it where do I have those at? I think move your arms all the way forward, so you have the spacers in the back, both front and rear. And make sure your ride height's at 20, and then let her rip. So, going back to John's thing, definitely driving and consistency for sure. One thing that I've been watching JQ's channel recently, and
yeah, I haven't, and yeah. Did he say something about that?
Yeah, it's weird. Because he actually said sometimes when you want to change something on your car, he said sometimes just try to drive different. Like if you think that if you're driving a certain way, like let's say you drive soft like I do, and you're frustrated with your car, try driving your car harder instead of worrying about making a change on something. And so, like last week, I kind of took that and tried to drive harder. Say where I struggle at. There's 2 spots on the track right now where I struggle. It's the corner before the tabletop and the corner before the triple. So I started trying to attack the corner to the tabletop instead of what I usually do, which is coast into that corner and flip it over.
Yeah.
So
I think that's why you don't normally like my setups or like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you don't necessarily want to run my setup because I drive pretty hard.
Yeah.
In comparison to you. I mean, back in the outdoor days, I mean, my car was like throwing roost all the way around corners like that. I was like Tokyo drifting regular Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
With mod 2 wheel, and I think that's where that kind of comes from. But yeah, you can run a stiffer front spring, or just for example, and not have and kind of force the car to do what you want it to, and it's going to be a little more consistent every time,
right?
But it's just one of those balancing acts. Like how do you like a car to drive?
I think we just got a $10 super chat from our producer.
Really?
Yeah. He said Will's epic Clerks meltdown last week was absolute gold.
Perfect. Did you watch Clerks yet?
No. I haven't had time. God, been so busy this week.
There's always time for Clerks.
Yeah, I'll try. I'll try. I'll try to force myself to watch it.
You need force himself to watch that movie.
And then to follow up here, we're almost done. What Nick Nuthouse says, what ESC should I use then? Because the stock is not rated for that low. So you kind of don't have a choice. When you run mini truggy, you're going to have to get something like the Hobbywing G2 Elite, the McLaren 160, the Reedy 510, right? Any one of those, something like that. So you kind of don't have a choice. If it were me, I'd get the Hobbywing G2 Elite just because it's pretty awesome to program and easy to program and costs the same as all the rest of them. So
yeah, I'd go with whatever the most people are running in that class,
which I'm pretty sure is a Hobbywing.
I'm sure.
Yeah. Jeez. All right, we're done. We're done. We're especially done now. Jackson Anderson just dropped $4.99, and he put Alex is 100% a dill hole.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, I am. I guess. I mean, whatever. It's fine.
No, you're all right.
Yeah, I'm okay. Okay, well, with that, I think we should go. It's been 90 minutes on here on YouTube, and I think the podcast will be probably an hour and 15 minutes, so we're kind of right in that range. And I'm gonna work on my crawler when I get home. We got crawling tomorrow night, and I'm gonna put a winch in my crawler.
Cool.
Yeah.
There's some brand new carbon towers right here, boys.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Peter Renault just dropped $5. He agrees with He agrees with Richard. The clerk's meltdown was hilarious.
I got a brand new clutch. Man, I should race gas.
Yeah, you should.
All kinds of stuff to race gas in here.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this has been fun. The Summer Series wrap-up show, basically. And don't forget, this show is always brought to you by Pivot Lending Group. Find them at pivotlending.com. And get a hold of Don Zoller or Aiden Olson's dad and mention our show. And if you go through with refinance or home loan, you get $500 lender credit or 0.125 off your interest rate. So how about that?
We may have a special guest next. We're not going to be on next week.
Yes, that's right.
Memorial
Sorry.
Day, so we're going to be remembering things.
Yeah, Memorial Day we're going to take off next week because I actually have the day off, and Will's going to be camping, and we don't want to do this from the camper.
I do it from the camper. I mean,
I don't know if the reception would be good depending on where you're at, right?
No, it's good.
Oh, okay.
It's all right.
Okay.
But I mean, hey,
is the camper going to be in your backyard?
Huh?
Is the camper going to be in your backyard?
No, it's actually already parked out at Pawnee.
Oh, okay.
We already took it out to the lake.
Oh, wouldn't that be funny if I'm going to go out to the camper this weekend and then your camper's just in your backyard?
Yeah.
I don't thought that would be funny.
I'd get like a sign for it called the doghouse. Yeah. I get in trouble. I gotta go out there.
Yeah. I need something like that.
But yeah, so we may the next time we're on have a special guest. I'm working on it.
Fun.
So tell your friends.
He's the one that lines it up, ladies and gentlemen. Will's the master at that.
Yeah, I'm all right.
Yeah.
It's usually ask them like, hey, you want to be on the show? They're like, well, what's in it for me? I'm like, nothing. Same thing for me. And they're like, oh, well, you drive a hard bargain, but sure.
All right. Well, we're gonna go.
Okay.
We'll see you later. I got to get back to doing nothing today. It's my day off.
Yeah, I might keep wrenching on my 8 scale here. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, fun. Yeah. Bye.
All right.